This is the other half of the piece of redwood that my friend had given me, and before he brought it up, he decided to try to split it in half and make it easier to put in a suitcase. And it didn't split very well. But I made a nice little turning out of the other half of this, and it's just had lots of burling going on in it. And this does in there somewhere, I can tell. And it's just going to be a little cupped out turning. Whether it becomes completely round or not, I don't know yet. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to get it mounted up and get a tenon on it. So I'll go ahead and figure that out, and I'll be back and we'll start turning on it. I really didn't have enough room to get a worm screw on this side. I thought about gluing a disc on here. Let that be my tenon. But what I've decided to do is I've got it between centers. I've got a spur drive on one end, and I'm going to see if I can turn a little tenon on here to grab. Probably no deeper than what my tip has put a dent in here, but we'll see. I may not even have this mounted where I could get anything. I just don't know. It's a raggedy piece of wood. Well, I'm kind of committed now. See what happens in here. Big old split in here, but that's sure not going to affect the looks. I'm almost liking this split out piece right here. I like this a lot more than I like that. So let's see what we can do about that. Alright, that's sandable. I'll grab an 80 grit here. Gonna run it backwards, slow it down, about 400. I just want to get it down by where the jaws are at. Like I say, I can't be sure. I'm going to keep this right here. Yeah, it sanded up pretty nice. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and sand up a little higher. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. I may not fill that crack. If I do, it's going to be after I turn it around, and then I'm going to want to tape it on each side maybe. I don't want to get that super glue in the wood. It really makes it hard to keep the same finish. Okay, I'm going to get this out of here, get a chuck in there, and then re-grab it. Well, here's what it looks like from this side.
This I just took a Forstner bit, made a bunch of flat spots in there, allowed me to shift it around and get a center. So it's a matter of cleaning this up. I've got to get rid of this. I think it'll be easier to do it from this direction. I'll get rid of that, and I'm going to start in here. This is obviously way lower than that. Again, it's just it's a surprise what it's going to end up looking like. I'm going to clean this bottom up just so I can see what the grain looks like, and then I'm going to call this a day. That's 1400 RPMs there. That'll be pretty. That'll be very pretty. I'm going to sleep on whether I maybe even turn this away. That's not a pretty crack there, tore out split area. That's not. This underside here, it is, but that's not so much. Although if I sanded that up, because it's kind of wavy where it had split off there, if I sanded it up, it might not be bad. So again, I'm not going to make that decision right now. So I'll be back on this probably tomorrow. Well, I'm kind of looking at this split out area, and I'm not liking it too much. I'm going to start by reducing this material out of here. I'm going to keep working my way towards this edge and decide if I leave any of that. Right there, I'm almost cutting through that backside. I better see how much I have underneath here. Probably got at least 5/8 there. That's just exposed a very, very interesting grain configuration. See how thick we are right here. That's at least 5/8, but behind it is that area that was all ripped out, and that's going to only be about 1/4. So that means I can't take that much more off of here without poking a hole through this. And I don't really have to. I don't see anything wrong with it being thick there. So, take another cut down to the bottom. Well, I'm going to go with what I have here. It's thick in this area, but it's real thin where I have that big chunk missing on the backside. So I'm going to smooth up anything on the inside with my negative rake scraper, and I'll take care of this edge. I'm going to just dub that over, and I'll be sanding on the inside. Work on that bottom a little bit more. So it's like a little tear out. Let's slow this down. About 450. I'll finish sanding this up to 400 and come back and I'll put some finish on the inside. I still have a little sanding on the outside because I wasn't sure what I was going to do about this shape. Alright, I sanded this up to 400 using my little disc and my power drill. And when I finished, I wiped it off, and then I took a piece of 500, a sheet, and then I just went over if I saw any little scratches. I can get rid of them. Kind of like going with the grain, that you can get rid of scratches a little easier sometimes. So, I'm going to put some sanding sealer on this now. I got to be careful because I didn't remember to grab my glove. I'm just going to get a coat on here. Let it dry and sand it again. Probably put a few more coats on. It's very interesting looking grain. So I'm going to get this all finished up, and I'll flip it around. I'll get it prepared to put a finish on it as well. So anyways, here's the other half of that Redwood Burl that I recently turned a little cup out of, and it came to me split very raggedly, but this piece I saw pretty much the shape that I made here,
And this is where a piece of wood actually spoke to me and told me what shape to make out of it. Because there really wasn't much else I could do with it. But this area right here is just gorgeous, gorgeous in there. Look at this. It just changes and it's alive. Well, it actually is alive. On the back side, this area here, I left that unturned. I think that really adds to it. Plus, if I would have turned it away, I would hardly have anything to hold in my hands here. The bottom's got a lot of burling. This all comes up through here. I really like that a lot. Well, what I did here, it took a number of days, but I sprayed lacquer on it. I didn't even count how many times, many times, rubbed it out, and it's really got a nice finish, which I think when you hold this in your hands and rotate it, that's where that finish that I put on there really highlights the beauty that's in here. So I like how it turned out. It measures 7 1/4 across at the widest and 2 1/2 deep. I really enjoyed making this, saving that piece of scrap. That's the best part. That piece of wood, it just looked useless to me, but I decided I was going to make something out of it, and I'm glad I did, and I hope you enjoyed the process. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, I'll see you later.